Hey, everybody. Hey, I am coming at you with the answer to questions that I get asked a lot about time management and efficiency. I guess I'm a pretty efficient person. I don't know. It's subjective. I have been told, though, that I get a lot done and juggle a lot of things. But you know what I believe? I think we all do. And we all do what we're capable of doing. And there's always room for improvement and room for adjustments. So I want to start this off by saying that it's funny that I haven't necessarily seen it in myself the same way others have seen it in me, but isn't that always the case too? So let me just get on here and tell you some things that I do kind of habitually that I think do maximize the hours in my day because we all have 24 of them, right, friends? I'll share them with you, and if they bless you, go forward and conquer, my friends. All right. Now, bear in mind that this is where I come from as a mom of four, healing from a terrible chronic illness and then some, helping many of my children also heal on their own journeys. So that takes a lot of time and energy, and we tend to be tired just from fighting that healing journey, the healing battle every single day. But I also did these things while I was working part-time and doing this homeschooling. I've always worked from home too. So I've worked outside the home part-time and within the home part-time while homeschooling and doing this healing journey thing and trying to do homesteading and all the things. And I often am juggling a lot of balls in the air or spinning a lot of plates. There are a lot of different analogies out there for keeping things afloat, basically. There's always a ball or plate or thing that suffers or has to go or has to be less than perfect or has to wait. So at any given time, I'm reevaluating my priorities, and that is kind of how I base my day-to-day activities, is what is that priority in the moment or for the day or for the time block or whatever. So those are all the little caveats I feel I owe to you before I jump into a topic that I never claimed to be an expert in, but I have developed my own path in. All right. So the first thing I do is I maximize my time. I'm going to tell you about two ways I do that. The first thing is I don't let any minutes go to waste typically. At the end, I'm going to talk about some other ways that I maximize my time in a more restful manner. But in terms of being productive and efficient, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes are worthy amounts of time to get something done. You'd be amazed what you can actually accomplish in 5 minutes. So if I feel like I need to have a certain amount of something accomplished by a certain time frame, I will make the most of what I call the cracks of time, those little bits of time that just fly away from you before you realize it. Am I perfect at that? No. Do I try to make the most of it? You bet. Waiting in the car for a kid, or I don't know, in between like phone call appointments, or 5 minutes while my kids get ready for bed and they don't need my help. I can quick sit down and do one thing, and then I can still go tuck them in. Things like that really add up. If you think about doing that, even just 3 or 4 times in your day, there you've got another, 45 minutes or more. I'm thinking 15-minute time blocks. But if you do 4 or 5 5-minute time blocks, there you've gotten back 20 to 25 minutes. I try to think in terms of 15-minute time blocks as much as possible, although I won't say no to a 5-minute time block either. And see what I can just get done in 15 minutes, even if it's straightening up my house, folding a load of laundry, getting my planner up to date, whatever that looks like. The other thing that goes with my making the most of every minute is time blocking or looking at my day in chunks rather than being rigid with a schedule. Okay, at this hour we do this and this minute we do that. Not like that at all, which usually surprises a lot of people because I seem pretty regimented. I'm very actually flexible. I just have certain times of day or certain activities or certain things that have to get done, or are being done in a certain block of time. That is so different for everybody, but I kind of know our day is kind of divided into like a morning block, early morning block, like wake up time and before activities start time, and then a school block in the morning, which bumps into a lunchtime block, which includes more than just eating lunch. And then there's like a quiet time afternoon block that is the baby's nap time. And then there is 1 to 2 different evening blocks that our day could hold. And so as you can see, every day could be a little different. Everybody's family is going to look different. So rather than tell you like exact details of that, I just encourage you to think of your day and what chunks of your day make sense for your family. And those two things, the time blocking and the making the most of the little bits of time you have in those chunks of block time, are very valuable for not only productivity and efficiency, but they're very valuable for rest and recovery too. And this is important. I stress this for people on a healing journey. If you don't have control of your time as it stands, you're going to struggle with healing and recovery long term. I fully believe that. So that is something I would encourage anyone to look at up front. How are you using your time? We can all be more efficient, sure. But I'll talk another time about different strategies for kind of seeing your time in a big picture. But those two ways are how I maximize the hours I have in the day. Okay, then what I will do for my second step to be efficient and productive and maximize my time is I will actually create ease of operation, if you will. So, for example, this is my classic example because it applies to my own house. My kids and the shoe situation. When they would come in from being outside or out of the house, they would notoriously kind of end up dropping their shoes anywhere. And I was trying to train them and teach them, even little, when they could walk, basically, to put their shoes away in their room where they belonged. And I had storage in their room for it, blah, blah, blah. But I came to find out that wasn't maximizing the flow that might be best for our house. Again, everyone's going to be different here, but I actually set up a shoe storage system right inside our door that is functional, kind of looks all right, and it actually works way better for my kids and me. I'm not spending time harping on them. They aren't spending all their time, running back and forth to put their shoes away or feeling like that's interfering with their playtime. The other thing was, a lot of times they would be coming in and out to play and they wouldn't be staying in, but they'd be going back out, and then plans would change and their stuff would be laying around and it wasn't like intentional. So anyway, shoe storage by our back door was the solution to help with that, for at least for their play shoes. And then they can keep their nice, less used shoes in their room put away for safekeeping. So that is an example of where I say to look at the flow of your home and the flow of different problem areas, so to speak. What is eating up your time and why? Is there something that you could do to maximize your space, time, or efficiency just in that one area of your home? Maybe it's repurposing your junk drawer to actually, if you have a junk drawer, because I feel like most people do. Even I have a bit of a junk drawer, but I kind of repurposed it to include things that I need to be able to grab and go with and not think, where did I put that? For example, thank you notes, stamps, tape, rolls of tape, for some reason, always grow legs in our house. So I literally have a method to my quote unquote madness in my junk drawer, but it's organized actually, believe it or not. But it's because I need those particular things and you may not. I know people that put their batteries there. We actually have our batteries in a different spot, but it's just what works for your home. This actually will save you time because then you won't go, hopefully the goal is searching or changing things around or spending time nagging people in your household to, do it differently than they are inclined to do it. I would really encourage you to, if this is something that speaks to you, to consult with your family about it. Whatever the problem area is, maybe it's a drop spot that everyone drops their papers at, or, certain areas of clutter. Or just areas that in your life are eating up time. Maybe getting out the door is eating up a lot of time. maybe just sit down with your family and discuss those problem points and what they think might actually be a valid solution. Because I tell you what, kids and spouses are really great at coming up with alternative ideas sometimes. And if you are open to hearing about it, it might actually save everyone some headache. So I am kind of talking about efficiency in like how space is used and organization, but also in time. Like I said, if certain routines in your day are not going as smoothly as they could, you're wasting time and you could possibly revamp it. So just be open-minded to that and creating better flow for your fam. Okay, the final area, I think, let me check my notes. I think that, yes, the third and final area that I work hard for efficiency and productivity is in personal time. And two things I'm going to mention in this realm. First and foremost, you have to schedule in or block out or intentionally set up time for self-care. And I know that can be like taken so many different ways, but all I mean is take time for you to reset yourself as a mama. I'm speaking to the mamas, but if you're watching this, whoever you are, you have to prioritize yourself to whatever degree speaks to you. And that's personal. That's a personal choice. And that's also a choice that's going to adjust over the years. Different seasons of life are going to look different. So I know that this is a busier season of life for me. And sometimes I'm literally just grabbing 5 minutes for myself here and there, and I'm not even really able to schedule it in even days in advance. Sometimes it's in the moment more where I'm like, oh, I see this opportunity and like I really need to reset mama here a little. So I will, sit down with a hot cup of tea for 5 minutes. Even if I don't finish the whole thing, I literally will just sit and kind of tell the kids like they'll be okay for 5 minutes. Doesn't mean I don't get interrupted, but it could be as simple as that for me at some points in time. It could also be a luxurious, 30-minute bath some nights. I do love a good detox bath soak for my own enjoyment with the door locked. It could be sneaking out for an hour to a coffee shop. It really just depends on the kind of time I have available, and bigger chunks of time are not a guarantee in my life right now. So what I was finding was happening is I was like just not doing it. And then time and time and time would go by and I would be so worn out and frustrated and I wouldn't understand why. And when I really took a step back and looked at things, I realized, well, I'm not even recharging my batteries. Like it didn't have to be fancy. It didn't even have to be like, a spa day or something, although I wouldn't say no. I had to learn how to recharge, reset, and give myself a little love throughout busy days, and just days that were unpredictable in particular. Even if they weren't running around busy, they were not guaranteed to offer me much in the way of extra time. So look at where you're at in life and definitely make it a priority that you get some of the time of your day for you and what would bring you joy and reset, like I said, and what you need for your soul right now. Part of that is giving yourself grace as well. Grace in loving yourself enough for some 5 minutes here and there for you, but also grace in the second point of this, grace and being aware of yourself is grace for slip-ups and for getting it wrong, because it's gonna happen. Even if you have the best intentions and you think you're doing all the right things and you're really getting your calendar out and mapping out a plan, what happens when that goes sideways or gets hard to keep up with? I love keeping a calendar and a planner, and I love organizing my time and doing this kind of stuff to be productive, but there are weeks where I just kind of I don't do a good job of it, or I just it's too overwhelming and I just kind of take a week off here or there or whatever. But I challenge you to use the affirmation, basically, I guess is what I would call it. Oops, I recommit. And say it out loud to yourself. Oops, I recommit. I wasted, 10 minutes when I could have done self-care that I needed. Oops, I recommit, and move forward. It's actually amazing what that 2 seconds of mindset work shifting will do for you, especially over time. And as you get used to saying it to yourself and hearing it and really believing it, it's one of those things I would say, even if you have to fake it till you make it, keep using a phrase like that one or similar. You can make it your own. It's actually one I picked up from a great mentor of mine. So I did not make that phrase up even myself. It's just a great practice to keep your mindset focused on the fact that nobody's perfect and it's okay to start over at any point in time, right? I think it's a lesson that we would tell our kids, so why wouldn't we tell ourselves that? That's how I look at it. Well, gosh, makes it sound easier than it is, or does it? So those are my 3 main tips for efficiency and productivity as they apply to my world. Just to recap really quickly, tip number 1 was maximizing the hours you have in the day. The 2 ways I do that mostly are to take advantage of all the little mini time blocks, whether it be 5 minutes or 15 minutes throughout my day, that I can get something done and really hustle to do what I can in that short amount of time. And I also utilize time blocking to a degree. Oh, his hair is like wanting to be in my mouth. I utilize time blocking so that rather than being on a regimented schedule, I'm on kind of a routine and a rhythm for my day. And I let that ebb and flow day to day as it needs to, with built-in buffers and barriers and downtime, which I'm going to get to in point number 3. But my second point was to maximize the flow of both your organization in your home and your time. Wherever you're finding roadblocks to productivity, stop and analyze what could be done to make it smoother. Even if it doesn't seem like the right thing to do, what is the right thing for your family or for you or for what you need to accomplish, what goal you have about that block of time or that space in your home or whatever is wasting time. Look at it and reevaluate if it could be switched up to go more smoothly or smoother. And then the third point is grace. It's all about grace and taking care of yourself in all of this, prioritizing reset time or, blocks of time for you, for what you may need or what would bring you joy or what would feed your soul. And also remembering grace in terms of restarting whenever necessary or recommitting to your goals for your time management. The phrase I like to use for that for myself is, oops, I recommit. And then I do. All right, everybody, if you are looking specifically for ways to reset and recommit throughout your day and you want some guidance in that area, I actually do have a little bit of a initiative in that regard. I have designed what I call Reset on the Run. It's a 21-day habit forming 5-minute micro reset sort of a challenge / opportunity. It really is just a series of resets to feed your body, mind, and soul to promote healing and healthy behaviors and habits long term. They're so simple and yet super effective. I guarantee you by the end of 21 days of this, you will not only have good habits of resetting yourself every day throughout your day without taking any time away from your schedule, but you'll also feel a whole lot better. You're going to feel way more equipped physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And dare I say, you might feel like a new woman. If you're interested in hopping in on one of my Reset on the Run segments, I rotate through doing them as a group so that people are all on the same page. So just reach out to me. I will leave my contact information here for you so that I can tell you when the next round of resets is going to be starting and we can get you plugged into it. Anyone is welcome. Okay. So yeah, bring a friend along too if you like. Okay. It's all digital as well. And like I said, minimal commitment because I want to maximize your time and productivity. All right. So we're talking 5 minutes, guys. If you can scrape up 5 minutes or less for many of the resets or less, you will be just fine. All right. So please know that that exists to help you because I don't want to just leave you with these tips and not equip you to at least have an opportunity to improve with help and with community and with a huge support system cheering you on the whole time. Because, by the way, we are all in it together. All right. I hope this helped, and I will see you next time.